Good stuff to show us today.
Lies.
Tons of good stuff. It's amazing. And then Brooke, you got that going? Cool. And so we'll have it's live streaming on what's it called?
Periscope.
Periscope.
There you go.
We'll have the video up on our blog later today or tomorrow or Monday or sometime. You can watch it again later. A couple announcements before we start. A lot of you know Brad Iroff passed away a couple weeks ago. Those of you that don't know Brad, he was a great member of our community, was far, far too young, has a young daughter and one on the way. So there's a GoFundMe page set up, gofundme.com/Iroff. I know a lot of you have already given to it. If you haven't, then you should do it right now, because today is free, obviously. So whatever today is worth to you, $5, $10, $20, gofundme.com/Iroff. You can read more. See, if you're not sure who Brad was, it's got his picture and some more stuff there, but very big surprising loss, and anything we can do to help them out, certainly I encourage you all to do that. Oh, look at that, he's clicking right away. So some upcoming meetups, you guys know about a lot of these, of course, but next week in here at the same time, we'll be talking about inbound marketing and marketing automation and HubSpot and SharpSpring and MailChimp and all that stuff to help do drip campaigns and automatically reply to things and put people on lists and lead scoring, all those crazy awesome things, so that'll be pretty good. May 5th, 2 weeks after that, or is it 1 week? No, this is the next week, yeah. Developers in here, what is it again?
I think we're bringing Micah Wood to cover functions.php and filters and hooks.
Gotcha, cool. So yeah, so next week is for all users. That one, yeah, more developer heavy. May 12th in the evening is Kathy, the non-designer's color guide for your website workflow. So yeah,
Does that sound ambiguous enough?
yeah, intentionally ambiguous, I'm sure. So if you go to hers that Thursday, hers of course is at night over in the East Cobb Government Center by Mount Bethel. And then yeah, the week after that we'll be back in here again. Not sure what we're talking about, but the 19th and 26th you can put in your calendars and we'll figure out topics here shortly. And go from there. And then last one, ClickHost. Carl Becker, come on down. So our Tom and she, of course, is thanks to Carl. Yeah, and tell us all about how great ClickHost is and why we should all use you and what fabulous prizes we can win.
Oh, sure. Hi, everybody. So, yes, there's lots of Tom and Chi in the back. Great salads, great sandwiches, and some scary donuts.
Great donuts. Amazing donuts. Actually, they're horrible.
Yeah, they're horrible. Mickey doesn't want you to.
Yeah, please don't eat them. Kathy, I just made Kathy try one. What do you think?
Unusual.
I decide.
There you go.
There's something about fried, cheesy things that is in the description.
It just can't be bad.
So, I'm going to pass the little card holder. Drop your card in here to win some Tom and Chi gift cards. And we have these cool iPhone charger thingies that we're giving away today as well, because instead of giving away the hosting, we'll be donating the value of the hosting to Brad's GoFundMe today. So I hope you guys are cool with that. So I'm going to pass this around. Sure. So ClickHost, we offer WordPress hosting. We're known for our security and also the speed of our services. But check us out, clickhost.com, and if you have any questions, I'll be around. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Carl.
Sure.
And that's all I have, so I don't need to do a big introduction. A lot of you know Aaron Ryman, great developer in the area with Sideways 8. It's actually because of him and because of Brad that we're doing this topic today. I've always been very anti-page builder, Beaver builder, Divi, all those. They're all horrible. You should never use them. And he convinced me that maybe you should try Beaver builder because it's pretty good. And so I was leaning that way. And then at WordCamp, I talked to Brad for a couple hours in the happiness bar. He said he uses Beaver builder a good bit, and I really should try it. So between those two guys that I look up to, I said, you know, we'll give it a shot. So we've been playing with it at Green Melon some. And I said, you know what, I need to learn more about this, so why not just bring in someone that knows more about it and teach us all. So let's go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you. All right, normally in here I'm talking about development stuff, so this is just kind of strange. So, all right, Beaver Builder. Actually, me. Talk about me for just a minute. Most of you guys know who I am. I write code a lot of times. I have a little agency called Sideways 8, and we do a lot of theming, a lot of plugin development. My business partner says that we're a branding agency, and I say we're a dev shop. You know, so it's I like the dev stuff, he likes the branding and marketing, so. Anyway, I've been doing WordPress since 2008, and I have kind of been a anti-page builder also because of the fact that it's not awesome, or the ones in the past have not been awesome, and I'll cover those in a minute. So, this is a slide that I throw into everything that I do normally because of the fact that everything is different. You might have a client that really, they just need to be able to do rows and columns, and if that's the case, you know, give them something really simple. If you give people too much power, they'll start making things look ugly and, you know, have too much interactions and, you know, 3 sliders, you know, stacked in a row, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, with your client, just make sure that they have a good understanding of the page builder, whether it be Beaver Builder or something else. So, how many of you guys use page builders? All right, throw names at me, the ones you're using.
Thrive Content Builder.
What is that one?
Thrive Content Builder.
Can you tweet me here with that that name? Because I want to check it out. So, or email me.
I might be
Sideways
able
8.
to, but I don't tweet.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right, thank you. I just want to keep up with them. It's a good way to learn. Like I'm speaking soon and talking about contact forms, or not contact forms, form builders. And I just like to know what's out there. So, but basically, most of you guys are using them. So, I mean, it allows us to put content in different places because if you don't have a page builder, you're going to wind up trying to figure out how to have an image here and an image here and content in the middle. I mean, that is hard to do without doing HTML, some kind of HTML. And WordPress likes to strip HTML out of the content and stuff like that. So that's one of the main reasons to use a page builder. Oh, most of them do more than what I need. Some of them, actually all of them, except for one, has a ton of features. So I recently did a talk at WordCamp, Atlanta and Jacksonville, covering these 7 of them. I'm just going to talk about these real quick. Page Builder by Site Origin is in the repository, the WordPress.org repository, so you can download that and play with it if you want. Conductor is really hard to grasp. Feel free to look at it. Divi is one of the ones that I was using, but it is shortcode driven. So if you guys know what that means, it's if you decide to disable the plugin, the page has shortcodes in there. So you lose all of the formatting and stuff. Themify is actually pretty good. Velocity Page is pretty good. Visual Composer is also, it's very similar to Divi also, but it's shortcode driven. So I use Beaver Builder now because it makes me happy. So I wrote a little plugin called Blank Slate, and what it allows us to do, all of these page builders it handles the content, but it doesn't touch the header and footer, and it can't. So if you're looking for a landing page where you don't want the header and footer and your theme doesn't support removing the header and footer, you can either write a lot of code, not a lot, you can write a little code to do it, or you can use this little plugin I did called Blank Slate, and I like my graphic there. It's real complex. So, all right, Beaver Builder. I'm gonna in a minute start just live demoing it, but it's in the repository, which is pretty cool. So you can get it, play with it without buying. And by the way, if you do, I didn't. Sorry, ignore that hashtag. Anyway, you can download and install it, but it doesn't have all the modules, but you can at least get the feel of if you like it or not, and then if so, then you can go and purchase it. If you're going to purchase it, let me know, because I've got a link I can throw your way, and I can get a little cash. So, this is the website, wpbeaverbuilder.com. And, okay, when you activate the plugin, this is what you get. And I'm going to go through it, but some of the paid version has this thing called modules and templates, which is really handy, and I think that's where a lot of the power comes in. Here's a little screenshot of all of those page builders, just so you can kind of see, but I'm mostly keeping this one here, just so you can kind of see Beaver Builder. There's the free one, which is in the repository. Then we have Standard, Pro, and Agency. Standard basically gives you the modules and the templates that you need, and the templates is what I think is really important, and I'll get to that towards the end. The Pro version works on multi-site, and it has the theme. They have a theme that you can use, but I've looked at the theme, and to me the theme just allows you to use the, gives you the options to remove the header and footer, which my plugin does, so I just don't think the theme is really necessary. So, and also if you're already using Genesis or some kind of complex theme, you're not going to want to switch just to have the Beaver Builder theme. The agency version is super expensive. Oh wait. Okay, yeah. I think Pro also makes it where it's multi-site friendly, which probably very few of you guys are using multi-site. Right now I don't have a multi-site that's using it, but I bought that version just in case we buy a plugin and we continue to use it for years and years on end. So correct me if I'm wrong on any of these guys, so jump in, ask me questions and whatnot. The agency version basically allows you to white label it, so it doesn't have the Beaver Builder icon and you can put your name on it. I'm not a huge fan of that because I don't want my name on it, in case there's a bug when version 4.5 comes out. Not that that would ever happen last week, but anyway, I don't mind giving people credit for it. I know some people like to have everything white labeled. So, questions? No, just kidding. All right, let's jump into actual Beaver Builder. How many of you guys are using Beaver Builder? Let's say 15% or so. Just look about 7 or 8. I'm sorry?
I was going to ask you a question about the plugin.
Yeah.
Are you going to get to that?
Sure. No, I'm not covering it anymore, so we can.
So I have the Beaver Builder Pro, and I've tried to use it on a Genesis site, but it ends up being the layout goes in the container.
My plugin does?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, just when I load the layout for Beaver
Right.
Builder, it ends up going into the container. So the blank slate plugin, does that like kind of wipe out all the styling on the page so you can have a clean layout?
Yep.
Okay, so I can go
Now
back. That's
it will still call in the styling from the theme and whatnot, but I don't know how much code you know, but I mean, the function of the header and the footer, or I'm sorry, yeah, the footer and yeah. Anyway, those two things aren't called in, but it still calls in the loop, which allows you to call in the content.
Right,
So,
but if like you've got, like your sheets, if you're taking the background showing, like will it?
Genesis thing buster is what she said.
yeah, it wall-to-wall white,
Okay.
emptiness. So,
Okay.
and it looks, when you load the page with that template, it looks horrible because there's nothing showing up. So, but yeah, I can demo that.
Okay, cool.
So,
Actually, I think what she's saying is that Genesis is overriding the Beaver Builder. There's a plugin to Beaver Builder called Genesis Dam Buster that allows you to turn off the containing elements of Genesis.
Dam Buster?
Genesis Dam Buster is a repository.
watch your mouth.
Yeah, I like it.
Genesis.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, so plugins. To be honest, there's a plugin that came with it where you can export stuff. Maybe I'll get to that, maybe I won't. So activate it. It brings in a page builder here under settings. Welcome. put your license in. Modules. So this is kind of cool. You can, that's readable, right? Okay. You can go through and turn things on and off. So if you don't want your client to have a slider, which I always kind of slam sliders, but they have their use case. You can turn those on and off. You've got templates where you can either disable it or not, and you can also, if you do this little checkbox here and hit save, your templates here on the left will disappear. And what that does, it just allows you to edit it on the back end, and that'll hopefully make sense in a little bit. But this allows you to do back end. If you don't do that, you can only edit those templates on the front end. So, post types, you can tell it to turn on and off on any type, well, I shouldn't say any, probably almost all post types. So if you want to use the page builder on your blog posts, you can do that, turn it on. I see the plugin more as a page layout thing, not a blog thing, because I just think it's too much content and whatnot for a blog page. It's got, how many of you guys use Font Awesome? Okay.
Icons. Yeah, that's a little icon.
Yeah, little icons for everything. So this is kind of cool. You can turn them on and off. I've been using Font Awesome for 4 years or so, and it allows us to make things cuter, which clients like cuteness. Don't touch this. Caching you can clear, and then you can uninstall it and uninstall the data. So real simple. I'm going to go to some pages. Okay, like I have, well, okay, you go and you edit a page, and your only option is to either go back to the regular text editor or launch Page Builder. Actually, I'm going to real quick just show you my plugin. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Just so you understand it. I mean, it's not like I'm making money off of the plugin, so I don't feel so bad. Check my heart rate. A little high. All right. So install it. Okay, I was worried. All right, activate it. I'm not going to update that right now. So I'm going to go back to my pages. I'm just going to hit add new and call this blank slate. So this is the page. View it. This is what page looks like without my plugin. And actually, I'm using the Beaver Builder thing, so there's going to be more options in here than normal. But the blank slate plugin, you hit update. I need to fix the header there, but, oh wait, no I don't. That's actually right. So it's only displaying the content. So now you can use a page builder and go wall to wall with a slider or other elements. So, all right.
In the template, there was a no header, no footer option.
Yeah, that's
Would that
from the Beaver Builder theme.
Would that accomplish the same thing?
Yeah, yep, exactly. But then you're forced using that theme. You know, so if you have another plugin or another theme that you're using, you know, you're forced to switch just to get that little feature.
Gotcha.
So, all right. Page 1. Going to go to the page builder. It's going to throw us to the front end, and this is what it looks like, which looks pretty similar to the page. Once it's almost identical to what it looks like. But you can go in, and I just went through and added, you hit add content, row layouts. This is column 1. This is 2 columns. 3 columns, et cetera, et cetera. And you can go all the way down to 6, but I just plopped in a bunch of content in here so you can see how it works. You can hit, you want to rearrange your elements. It's a drag and drop everywhere. So it makes formatting really, really simple.
You created this one yourself, or did you use one of their templates?
I went to a blank page, I think. So if I hit, I can click, I started off with blank
Okay.
here.
Okay.
So totally empty. So I built all the little, I mean, it didn't take long at all, but I just created this so you can understand how columns work. So,
Aaron,
yes,
what happens if you accidentally hit the little delete button on one of those things? Is there a way to recover it?
it throws you an error. So you can kill it. And then if you hit done, you can say discard changes, or you can save it. And you can also hit save draft. I'll just go ahead and show you because I think it's pretty cool. So save draft, I deleted one of these somewhere, but I wasn't finished editing it. So I can go back later and go to the page builder. I can, sorry, I lost my train of thought. There you go.
It's really nice.
So I can append my new layout, so it goes back to where I was removing one of these, obviously it was that one. So it gives you a draft mode, basically.
Got it.
So,
That's very cool.
next page. I'm going to cover the basic modules, which are relatively simple. Drop audio in there. It's really, really simple. You drag and drop. This is one thing I don't like about it, actually. I'll demo that. I really wish I could click, I need a button, I need a photo, and I need this, and it all automatically show up on the left. But I have to manually drag it over, which gets a little frustrating, but whatever, it gets the job done. So you can drag an element over, it pulls everything from the media library, go here, add
Where would
it.
it split it if you just clicked and it dropped in?
It makes its own new row.
It just had to go to the bottom, and once you have to drag it in, yeah?
Does it do that?
No, it makes
that's
its own
it,
row.
yeah. It seems like you still have to drag anyhow, so I don't know.
Well, that's how Gravity Forms works, where I can go, and if I'm building a form, I hit name, email, and it all just
Gotcha.
automatic, because I know conceptually what
You get all in, and then you can just.
Yeah, then you can
okay.
drag them. I hate having to drag and drop when I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, cool.
Kind of. So, hit save. I mean, you can start playing your audio. It does a really good job doing that. You have kind of call to actions, but these are just called buttons. And this is where Font Awesome kind of shines. You can select your icon here, so you can change this text on the fly. So, content on the fly. Select a icon like, I don't know, map. Tell it to show up before or after the text. And you can change the colors. So we'll go ahead and make it this color and save. And I like it. I think it's pretty powerful because I can duplicate. Just you can very quickly, if you got 3 buttons you have to throw in, you can do that very quickly. This is just a paragraph in there. This is a header. This is an image. Does anybody know who she is? Figure not. She's awesome. Okay. This is video, which I like the concept of the videos, because sometimes, most of the time with the clients, we tell them, go host it on YouTube or Vimeo or whatever. this does a pretty good job getting the video up there, assuming it's under, your hosting allows you to upload a file that's, big enough. But if we go, how many of you guys use MP4s to upload videos? Or not to you? Okay, do you use the OGG format also?
I'm so not an expert at this.
Okay.
I don't remember what I use.
Okay,
I have
well,
to Google it every time.
yeah, well, I just thought this was pretty cool that Beaver Builder, they do the MP4 format, and then you can upload the second format, which makes it open source friendly, so it works on Firefox and whatever else there is. So, because Chrome and IE and Safari will play the MP4s. Then you can change your poster image in there. You have all your options. Hit done. Publish. So, ugly page, but those are the basic modules. Or they,
Presumably with the video, it will let you put it out on Amazon S3?
No, and that's really aggravating.
let's see. It doesn't let you change a different resource?
No, it only will pull from the Amiga library.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, that'd be, I would contact them.
I think that's changing.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
asked for that feature, and I asked somebody else to write John Mather with Beaver Watch to add that.
Yeah.
One of his modules.
The Beaver Builder is built very well. As I learned a little today, we were trying to, by default, you can go in and when you're putting a paragraph in there, a header or whatever, you can select a Google font and it brings up 740, options of fonts. And if you don't see the font there, so if you're using fonts.com or something, they have it well written where you can hook into the filters and start calling in other fonts. And so, yeah, so we did that this morning for a client because they were really picky and they wanted to use an Adobe font. So we were able to do that. So I said all of that to say that you probably could, 10, 15 lines of code, tell it to add a place to put in a URL versus uploading a file. So I can charge you to do that. Okay.
So natively, it does not support, I'll call it a self-hosted video.
No, it does support a self-hosted. It doesn't support a third party or a CDN like Amazon and whatnot. So
That kills it right there.
this is basic. All right.
But you can embed a video.
Yeah, I mean you could drop.
YouTube or anywhere
You
else.
still use YouTube.
Yeah, but if I'm not using YouTube or Vimeo, I've got all my digital video assets on S3.
Right, but it's easy. With
It just uses a text
HTML5,
box.
I mean, the code is less than video and then source. I mean, browsers now support that. You don't have to use anything crazy like what was it called before where you had embed?
Yeah.
Embed options and craziness. HTML5 allows you to there's a video tag that you can
Yeah.
use. So it's
So you can
Kinda simple.
mix HTML in with the page?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
HTML module,
Yes.
or you could
Okay.
just use it from a text module.
Yep. So here, so you can go in here, drag your HTML module,
Okay.
and this is actually kind of cool. You can do H4, and it actually adds the closing tag
Closing
too, so
tag.
people don't break stuff, which I thought was kind of cool, because that's kind of the whole fear of giving clients access to the site is that they're going to put 8 divs, opening divs, and 6 closing, or something like that. So it breaks very easily and very quickly.
Can you put PHP in there?
No.
But you can't put JavaScript.
No.
You can put JavaScript.
WordPress will strip the JavaScript out of there, I would think.
Not with that module, because I have a client who
Not
uses
with the
JotForms.
HTML markup?
Yep, I have a client
Okay.
who uses JotForms,
Should.
and I use it to put JotForms on.
Okay.
And I think you can get PHP in, there's plugins that let you have a PHP widget, and then you use the
Don't
widgets.
tell people about things like that.
Diana with PHP.
These are horrible, horrible plugins. So,
But you can, in theory.
you can, yes. So,
Just don't.
just, right.
Yeah.
Just because you can do it. All right. We'll get to the power in a minute, but just want to show you some examples of FAQ, which is really cool. You hit add new item, edit the item, give it question 3, and hit save. We have our third question. We can organize them differently because clients, there's a lot of times an FAQ option. And when you're finished, you can go and click, hit save, and it does the cool little JavaScript, where the text hides and appears, et cetera, et cetera. This is a call to action. It has a form, like a contact form you can put in here. I don't use that because I use Gravity Forms to manage all of my contacts, contact forms. Got a slider. Has a countdown, which I set this to, 2 years from yesterday or something like that. So, and you can tell it's real time. My slider's running there, which is pretty cool. This uses, it's pretty similar to the media library that WordPress does.
Do those pop out, too?
Yeah, it'll do a actually.
Slide
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and publish this so I can show you the actual functionality as opposed to it being imaginative. So, if there's plugins that do, an FAQ type thing, but I mean, it's all built in right there. Your slider, you have options of doing arrows, not doing arrows, doing dots, not doing dots, countdown, and then this just uses, I wouldn't say it's super fancy. There's not much, nothing popping up and animated, but it gets the job done. Drop a Google map in there, which is pretty cool. You drop in an address and hit find, and it pulls it in, which is actually, it's probably easier now, but it used to be kind of hard to do that. This is a countdown, or count up, which is good for pricing and stuff. This is called a pricing page, so you've seen the 3 comparison, this product, and the one in the middle is bigger in different colors. You can customize all of the options for what the color is, what the text is, add as many as you want. You can drop quite a few in there, you're not limited to 2. So that is that's a lot of the options. I'm going to show you why I think it's really, really good. So, I'm going to hit, do you guys have any questions? Yes?
Getting back to the photo gallery, so let's say we wanted to use Soliloquy or something.
Soliloquy, yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
So you can mix and match, if you already started a page,
You can drop short codes in it.
Soliloquy has a widget, too.
Yes,
So you can drag the widget in.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, I've never worked with Soliloquy, but I
Okay.
see it
Yeah.
coming.
It has
Same
a
with
normal
the Bible.
WordPress widget to drag anywhere, you can drag any widget in.
You can add any WordPress widget to a page.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that. I use Soliloquy, and I feel stupid trying to say it. I used it last night for the first time, and I wound up not using Soliloquy. I said, I can do this in Beaver Builder, and I already have that installed.
Yeah.
So, and the features, I know Soliloquy you can do like an HTML slider and stuff like that, but if all you're doing are photos, and you already have Beaver Builder, might as well use what you already have installed. So,
Karen,
yes.
I may be jumping ahead. What if Beaver Builder is uninstalled? What happens to that beautiful page?
Let's see.
Okay. That's
It's a good thing.
So I know with text and pictures, basically you just lose your formatting. This will be pretty ugly. This will be fun. So,
Just go to edit page and go to, without the page builder.
does it pull the content in?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
it'll be sitting
cool.
there for you, pretty, semi-pretty.
Was that on page 3? I think it was.
But it'll be there when you click it again and you go back to page builder.
It tells you don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's all your text.
Okay.
I mean, you don't lose, it's not shortcode driven, but it definitely is not,
Or you're gonna lose all your
pretty.
formatting.
Yeah, all your formatting. So, it just ruined my page.
I didn't make you do it.
I know. So, you did jump ahead though. So. All right, so, all right, let's say you have a product and you want the product to be on the bottom of every page. You can, actually I won't get to that yet. I'm going to duplicate this. So with this row, I can configure it. Notice there's a save and then there's a save as. We'll call this pricing chart. Global and not global. We'll make this pricing chart 1 and hit save. This is not global. Now I'm going to go to a new page.
What's global versus not global?
I will show you. So let's hit a new page and some page. We go to go with the blank page. I'm going to go to my saved row, drop it in. Now I can edit this. Okay, so I have the exact same content and it is editable.
And you're editing it on the page,
On my new
not
page.
the...
Yeah, it's not on the old page where I had all the sliders and pictures.
No,
and
I'm
stuff.
not talking about the old page, I'm talking about what you drew in to create the page.
I'm not sure if I understood the question.
The
template.
saved row.
I am editing, basically what it makes is an instance of it.
Okay.
So when I drag this in here, there's no connection between this I just dragged and this. So if I edit 34 and make it 99, this one will still say that. Okay? So let me save this. This one, actually, let me make it different. We'll make it, sure, add an icon. And background color. Okay, so that is separate than that one. Now I can go over here and hit configure and hit save as. This is global. Okay, so we're going to call this global pricing. So it was saved. Okay, notice there's some blue here. This is orange. So it makes it pretty clear that you're doing something different than all the other modules. So if we go into the back end,
I'm gonna guess that the global will allow you to create the same modification to many pages simultaneously.
exactly. So we've got these in here now. But we can go in, and when I hit edit this one now, and I configure it, I'm no longer editing it on that page because it's global. So I can make this change, and wherever I have this element, it'll change everywhere. So if you are selling a product and you want your table or whatever on everything, or if you want the same call to action on every page, and when they decide to change that text, it will replicate throughout everywhere. Now, if you don't, let's say you have call to actions that are slightly different. The button's on the left sometimes it's on the right. Then you do 2 rows, save 2 different rows that aren't global. They're just rows, and then you can drag them and drop them. Yes?
So that brings me to a question of the use of a global piece of the Beaver builder. So if you're using a Genesis theme, you got the Genesis Dam Buster, you turn off the footer, create a footer with, has anyone created a footer with Beaver builder? Like a fat footer, so to speak?
So you're talking about kind of hiding what's in the theme and displaying something at the bottom, but keeping your header?
Yeah, keeping the header, right.
You sound like a good extension for my plugin. That's possible. It's really easy to do within the theme, but you would have to copy your regular template and then just tell it not to call in the footer. It's real easy to.
So I can turn the footer off now, but I wanted to use some of the aspects of Beaver builder to create a nice footer, something that's outside the box instead of using just widgets that keeps me, okay, I gotta use this, gotta use that.
Well, wouldn't that just
You
be
can do that, create
not
a
necessarily?
little row.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you just not make? Can you make that just the last thing on your Beaver builder content?
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering if anybody had done that. I just didn't.
I haven't. So I mean,
It just came to me when I was.
right.
thinking about
The
it.
use case for us is that we just needed people to be able to edit this content without us making all the changes, because they didn't have really the budget to do it. So I just said, here's a great way to edit the content. We have used Beaver Builder as a landing page, and I'll get to actually some of those real quick. But I haven't done use the header but not the footer. So I mean, it's simple to do.
And I guess the question I'm asking too is that I want the footer to show up on every page that's created. With adding it, I would have to add it from a global, as I saved it as global content, I would have to drag it in.
You still would have to drag it over, yeah.
But is there a way that it can just be added like a normal footer would? That you know
have to
of?
create a
With
template.
Genesis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you're using the Beaver Builder theme, there are hooks, and you can add it in that way.
Put it into
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more complex to do it, but I mean, developer, I mean, if you know PHP, you could do it. So, do you have a question, Chris?
Yeah, I was just actually gonna comment on
Okay.
this one. I mean, I've done that before, and I'm just saying, you're in there building pages anyway, and it's literally, it's less than 2 seconds to just drag in the global row.
Okay.
It's easy.
All right, okay.
Once you get used to Beaver Builder, it's pretty quick to build things. So let me
Always.
check my heart rate.
I've redone my head up ahead too, right? That's the global row.
Use Beaver. Use Beaver.
All right, I'm gonna do a landing page real quick, and I could either use blank slate or whatever's in the theme, if it supports. I'm gonna use the Beaver Builder plugin or functionality here. I'm gonna hit publish, which I know I can do this slightly differently, but I don't think straight sometimes. Anyway, so there are, I think, 18 or so
They're
templates.
all being changed. They're doing this now. Have you seen the alpha stuff?
No.
They have an alpha version out now, and the layout templates are really good.
Oh, really?
Those are kind of lame.
I
The
think,
new ones are kind of good. I never use them anyway, but if
okay,
you're a template user, the new ones are much better.
right. So you can select any of these, and since I tried to surf once, I'll go with this
So
one.
this is landing page. It's just.
What happened to the surfing guy? I guess it's, anyway. So very easily and quickly, we can have a landing page. Honestly, I'm gonna go to something that's less obnoxious. So replace the existing content. Okay. Actually, I've used this template before. So, I mean, real simple. You just start editing the content, and you don't have your, you know, if you're an SEO person and you do a lot of different landing pages, you can save, modify all the text and everything, swap out pictures and whatnot. Then you can save each module and replace, create a new one, add a new row, add a new row. It just saves you, I don't know, to me it gives you total flexibility. Or let's say you don't even want to use WordPress, maybe it's a single page, you know, site. Beaver Builder would be really good for that. So you're not necessarily needing all of the WordPress functionality, you just need a landing page, you know, for the home page. It's real simple, real easy to do. Yep.
So if you save a template on this site, you say, that was a great landing page, I want to use it for this other site.
Yeah, so.
You're going to, okay, cool, all right.
Yep, so you can, I've only done this once, so give me 1 second. Settings, okay, let's just save. Templates, nope. I did it once and I'm.
It was in that first thing, save templates.
Is that it? Okay, sorry. All right, so we can call this, use this on another site. Okay, hit save. So that template is saved. Now, because the way it's built is it's using custom posts for those. So we have these templates. Use this on another page or site. When you go over here to, where is export? Tools, export, templates. I wish that were labeled Beaver Builder templates because I missed it the first time I was looking at it. Then you hit download, then you can save it. So if someone has their pay-per-click people and they have 80 sites that look exactly the same but with different content, you know, you can export it. Then you just go on your other site, activate Beaver Builder, and then import. So it's
That's just in the regular WordPress tools.
yeah, yep, yeah.